creator life. I wanted to just kind of jump into what is life as a creator?
What is life as a creator?
Yeah.
I would say I'm a coach first, but obviously as a coach, you have to create in order to market yourself, get clients. But to me, it allows me to use my creative side. And when I was working the 9-to-5 regular life, like I didn't really get to use the creative side. So I really love to do that. You know, just having fun with it.
Let's go back to that. So the transition between a 9-to-5 or a normal working schedule life to like what you're doing now. A, how long ago did that happen? And two, what are the differences you've noticed in your life? Curious.
Of course. So it actually just happened like a month or two ago. I had the opportunity to go full time with my business, and I told myself, if I don't do it right now, when am I ever going to do it? So I took the opportunity. So I'm doing it full time now.
It takes a lot of courage to do that, by the way. So
it does.
That's
it's
like scary.
Diving off into the deep end, and like you don't know when you're going to hit anything. So it's definitely been a challenge, but it's definitely been super rewarding.
Yeah.
My schedule doesn't really change as much. Like I just took my working hours and now I'm using those working hours towards my business and creating and all that good stuff. I'm pretty much a robot when it comes to routine, just because I'm a bodybuilder too. So I still go to the gym in the morning at my normal time, take out the time during the day for work, meetings, calls, whatever. So it's kind of similarly just switching out what I was doing 9-to-5 with my business.
Do you ever struggle like with the discipline of like, I mean, I'll speak for myself, like when you have the freedom to do whatever you want, like I couldn't do it like a 9-to-5, like my work. I'm very like, sometimes I'll have a lot of energy and sometimes I'd be like chilling. Sometimes
I'm like that. Like I've learned, especially now doing it full time, like I'll have spurts of my brain's really ticking right now, like I need to create. Exactly. And then there'll be spurts of energy where I'm like, fuck this.
I need to go outside.
I need to go play with my dogs. Like I need to go take a walk or like go get a coffee or something. So like it's been nice to have that freedom. But it's also a bit of a challenge understanding yourself and your energy levels, and it's a learning process. But I love it. Like,
I think a lot of people, like our audience, would understand that it's okay not to be on 9-to-5 every day because you're a creator, because you're an entrepreneur, because it's like
100%.
We give ourselves that expectation, but it's like, nah, even if we're at work, we're not on 9-to-5 every day. We're like, people mess around sometimes at work, even if they're in an office setting. So I'm glad that you were like transparent about like, sometimes I'm not on my computer working all day, you know?
But it's like, it's not realistic that, especially creators, that you're on it all the time, because again, like your mind could be blank at sometimes, and then your mind's like going and you have all these ideas, and sometimes you have calls at 8 p.m. and sometimes you have calls at 7 a.m. Like there's really no strict schedule, but as long as you can dial in and make bits and pieces of a schedule to work around whatever you want to do, like I wouldn't ask for anything else, you know?
What was the biggest, like, I guess, barrier or hurdle or mental block that you were like, I'm gonna do this, that you were trying to like overcome? And like it's like a scary jump, right? But what was the biggest one holding you back from making that dive that eventually you obviously overcame?
Fear of failure.
Interesting.
I mean, obviously 9-to-5 is secure, like you're getting a constant paycheck, like you can kind of slack off a little bit and you're still gonna get paid. This, you can't slack off.
You slack off, you don't get paid.
Right, like if I stop what I'm doing, like I'm not gonna make any money. But obviously like I'm doing what I love at the same time, so it's like money is not my end goal.
It's easier to do more of what you're doing because it's like you like it.
Exactly, so it feels more organic, it feels like I'm aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing.
When someone asks you what do you do for work, how do you answer that?
Now I'm like,
you're like,
I don't know. I'm like,
creator,
shit, what do I say?
Coach.
I just say I'm an online fitness coach and content creator. Sometimes I won't say content creator.
Why not? It's actually cooler than a fitness coach. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Just because people look at me like, what the fuck is that? Like,
what are you doing?
They think I just sit at home all day and like test out skincare product. I'm like, no, that's not it. Like so it takes so much more time to edit a video than people think, and constantly researching the algorithms, the markets, social media. Like it takes so much more energy and effort and knowledge than people think.
And I will say you get it, and it must be from the research you're doing, because like I see your content, I'm like, she gets it. She gets shareability. She gets like different in trends and how do you stop the scroller and like, so it's one thing to make content, but it's one thing to like make good content. And I think that's something that does take a lot of time because you will be scrolling to understand what the market's doing and what you have to do differently. I guess speak on that a little bit, like what makes content good and not good?
One, just the quality of the videos. Definitely having like an up-to-date iPhone. Like your videos can't be blurry, they can't be shaky, they can't be like, because no one's gonna look at that.
Yeah.
Like you are competing against the rest of the world type of thing. So how I think about it is like, I want the person on the other side to stop scrolling when they see me. What is going to make them do that?
Yeah.
And then I also think about times where I'm scrolling on social media and I'm looking for something. When I find it, what are they doing? And kind of mimic it or reinvent the wheel, etc.
That's interesting. And so as a content creator / coach, what do you, I guess, like, do you feel like you'll eventually make more income from the content creation side or what you consider this as your online coaching business? Because I think it's one and two, but also they can be separate if you think about it.
Yeah. So that's a really good question. I think there may be more money in the content creation side of it, but that's not my end goal. Like if it comes, it comes, but my end goal is growing my coaching business and sticking to my coaching business and my clients, my ladies, like they're my priority. But that being said, the content strategy is different for each because selling your coaching is a totally different strategy than being a content creator or influencer.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Two separate, totally different things. And I don't think people understand that either. Like they try to be an influencer, but they're selling themselves instead or selling their products, or they're a coach, something like that, but they're trying to be someone's best friend. And it's like two totally separate different things, especially like depending on what your goal is at the end of the day.
And that's like talking about the type of content when it comes to organic, at least, is like, does it have a call to action? What's the point of it? Does it incentivize? Is there an offer tied to it? Like, not many people understand this. And so like there's levels to understanding. So how did you learn? How did you understand this world?
I self-taught.
Yeah, you
really.
didn't go to school for specifically social media. I know that.
I just self-taught. I mean, everyone uses social media every single day, and it's like, might as well be useful.
Yeah.
Right. I do have a business coach too, which helps. Nice. But I study algorithms. I follow accounts that help with that. It's really kind of experimental too, like throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. Yeah, exactly. And then just seeing other creators in my niche and what they're doing and studying that as well.
That's cool. And so like the content creator game, I think we're Miami, so it's very open and accepted and like normal, I guess. You come from, I believe, Ohio? No.
Indiana. Close.
Sorry. Sorry, I knew it went somewhere over there.
Midwest.
Midwest. How is it there compared to like here for your career as a content creator?
It kind of goes back to when I was cringing earlier about being a content creator.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as accepted, honestly. People don't see it as a real job.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you take pictures of a water bottle, like you post pictures and workout outfits, like cool, that's not a job. So it's not as accepted.
Yeah.
But I also think that's a huge reason why I did take that leap of faith and going full time with my business here, because it is so much more accepted and the community around here is much more accepting to that sort of thing.
I was watching a video from a girl, she was, I think, in Brickell Key, and she was just like, this is the world we live in Miami. This is totally normal. I could be, and she was just kind of going on like anywhere else she would be doing that. She'd be like, what the heck are you doing, right?
Right.
But Brickell Key, it's like everyone's doing it. So it's like, it's almost like a normal thing to see. I think that Miami is the hub of creators right now for the country, at least. I've lived in LA, and I think it had its moment, but I think they've all kind of flocked here.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of big creators, at least that I know, that have moved to Brickell or South Beach, and I'm like, why do you think people are flocking here over LA, New York for content?
One, probably just because it is more accepting, but again, the weather, like, especially versus New York. I've actually never been to LA, so I can't speak for LA, but versus New York, people like love the weather here. They can be outside all year round. They don't have to be cooped up in their 400 square foot apartments, you know?
That's crazy, yeah.
So I think that's a major difference, but also the community here. I feel like something about it is just very much different than New York and LA. I feel like LA and New York are both hustle cultures.
Yeah.
And Miami is very laid back and chill and
enjoyable.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so do you see this whole, I guess, like fitness niche or fitness influence? And I asked this because I don't know if you remember the Shreds days.
Oh God.
Way back in like 2016, I think.
Yeah.
So
it still happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, no, like I come from that world of the Fit Expo in LA and like Shreds and all these companies that are no longer there. But do you see that this fitness influencer pocket of individuals is still growing? Is it kind of refining itself? Is it like, because it's obviously, I see it all the time, there's a lot of fitness coaches, a lot of online fitness influencers, but is it, I'm not in it, so I don't know, is it still growing, or is it kind of like now refining itself?
I think a little bit of both. Like there are definitely coaches popping up everywhere, but I also think it's becoming more refined just because people have access to a lot more information now, even versus 2016.
100%.
So people can smell bullshit, you know, and with that, people are still going to want to face to whoever they're following and they're buying from. And creating relatability is huge, especially in this niche, because you can follow a girl on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and if you can't relate to her, then you're not going to want to follow her beach body program.
Yeah, of course.
You know? So there is still space for coaches that can be relatable, know what people go through. Maybe they've had a huge weight loss journey, like they've lost 200 pounds. Like they can relate to other people that are in their same exact shoes. So it's very competitive, but it's also like growing and refining at the same time.
How is the competitiveness on the financial side? Obviously, like price, and I don't mean to like, you know, talk about your price, but like how does like the market, because it's becoming more competitive, is there still a stronghold for, I guess, the economies of scale, which basically means that you can charge a fair amount and like still get a lot of clients because it is a global landscape for your clientele, right?
That's a difficult question, because I feel like depending on your ideal client is depending on how much you can charge. And even, I'm a competitive bodybuilder too, and I'm going to start coaching competition as well. That's a whole different space too, and the price points are totally different there. But it really just depends on your ideal client, because if your ideal client's just the average person, you have to have a lot of clients to make a really good amount. But if you scale, start looking at a different clientele, like you can start charging more. It totally depends on who your ideal client is. So
I guess recommendations, find your ideal client. And I ask this because I know people that are watching this are going to be people that are in the fitness space that want to start an online career. And even in this building, I see girls in that gym constantly filming content, and I talk to them like, hey, what are you doing now? I'm starting my online fitness coaching journey. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. I support it. And so, it's like, is it like, how do you tell them to start? Like, how do you recommend, based on your experience, to get started in it? What's motivating? What kind of builds attraction, momentum? Like, what would you say to them?
If you want to be an online coach, I would start by getting experience in person.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. And they're like, I just want to be online. I just want to stay at home, work from home. This niche in fitness, you learn so much more by being in person and doing it that way than you will ever online.
Because you never get to understand the customer feedback probably, right?
Yes, and how the body works.
That's true.
Like most of my experience honestly comes from playing college basketball and the rehab that I had to go through for injuries and surgeries, the strength training I did every single day for 4 years straight. Like all of that was my experience and my knowledge, and then getting into the competitive bodybuilding space, all of that combined is what makes me good at what I do. But if you just took a course online and you're a personal trainer and you want to start online, you're not going to have the same experience. And
the results won't even be the same because they don't know how to apply it, really.
It's like you can have the knowledge, but if you can't apply it correctly, it's going to be hard to be successful.
So let's just say a brand comes to you and says, hey, Peyton, I want to pay you 6 figures just to make content for our brand. Is that something that like looks tempting to you? Is it because it's like, it's now you're a creator and a coach, but like, obviously if you're a good creator, it's very attractive to brands and agencies that want creators, right? Speak to like the influencers, I guess, or the creators in the fitness space and how these opportunities pop up. Because I'm sure, I mean, I see you're with brands all the time, right? Like, how has that happened? How has that started? How is that going for you?
It truly just happens organically for me. Like I don't reach out to brands.
Yeah.
So any clothing brands or supplement brands that I've been working with, they've reached out to me. And it's important for me, especially to find a brand that aligns with my values, my beliefs, who I am as a coach.
Yeah.
Because I am a coach, I don't want to promote stuff that...
What does that mean? Like, can you go deep on like, how does a brand align with your values? And I kind of ask this question because I hear that often, but like, what does that mean for a creator, right? Can you kind of explain that? Like,
I can give a detailed example.
yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like way off. But like, if the CEO of a company is bashing women for being in a certain career,
Yeah.
just because they think women shouldn't be in it, I don't align with that.
Yeah.
Because I am very much
Leadership, yeah.
women empowerment. Women can do anything a man can do, that sort of thing. So that's turned me off from brands.
Yeah.
Like if I see a CEO on a podcast like talking shit about women per se, or promoting other things that I know are bullshit, like I don't want to be part of that company.
And that's important because when I thought about when people say this, I think it's like, oh, is it like the way they're sourced or the products, ingredients? But no, it comes down to like culture of the company, right?
For sure.
That's
I
cool.
mean, if it's supplements, definitely the ingredients for me. But if the CEO is not acting in a way that I would, I don't want to work with the company.
Ultimately, you're part of their team and you're putting your identity on it, so it's like that matters.
Yeah.
And that's like, so yeah, it's important for influencers to kind of understand that because I think everyone usually, I mean, I was a skateboarder when I was a young kid and I took on like anybody that was sponsoring it. I'm like, yes. But now it's like a little bit more transparent where you're putting your brand and their brand together online. And so, yeah, and so for people, creators to like understand like, hey, who you align with reflects you. It's like really important.
Especially if you're just a creator, like you can probably get away with a little bit more. But if you're also a coach, you have to understand people that want you as a coach also see what you're promoting.
Yeah.
And if you're not being real about that, less likely that they're going to hire you as a coach.
What do you think about this take? The more transparent you can be online with in regards to the content and the things you make on the daily basis, the better you'll perform versus the, call it more fabricated or well-polished content?
I think there needs to be a mix of both.
Okay.
Just because the more polished content is what's going to get someone to stop.
Yeah.
But then the more transparent, relatable content is what gets people to stay.
Yeah. Do you almost feel like it's like TikTok, Instagram, like polished TikTok, Instagram, and then whatever you say? I don't know. Like,
it is. No, it is. Because like I'm very unpolished on TikTok. Like I am very unfiltered on TikTok. It's like my, I don't know, day-to-day diary, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, blog or stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like this, it's more behind the scenes, like real raw, and then Instagram is a little bit more polished.
Yeah.
But actually I was having a conversation with my business coach and she was like, no, I think your TikTok stuff would do phenomenal on Instagram.
Yeah.
So we've been sprinkling it in here and there and whatever. But again, like you have to have polished stuff to get people to stop.
Yeah.
But you also need to be relatable and transparent to build relationship and trust within your audience.
And where have you gotten more customers? Would you say TikTok or Instagram?
Oh God.
Sorry if I'm going too deep.
No, you're fine. It's probably been half and half.
Really? Nice.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So a lot of the conversations I've heard in marketing or creator space is like, oh, TikTok has low quality audiences. Oh, they don't buy. But I've been hearing lately like TikTok is buyers and shoppers are there too.
Lately, early on, I would say the quality of applications I was getting from TikTok, they didn't. Like I would have the consultations, they didn't buy, they didn't want to pay the amount that I'm offering. But recently it's shifted.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And so
and I don't know why that is, so don't ask that.
Oh, no, yeah. And so tell me.
I knew you were about to ask. I was like, I have no idea.
And no, it's just interesting because I think that the world is like, you know, like the young youthification of like platforms. I think that's happening on TikTok where more mature consumers are going there.
Yeah.
And even myself, I've been trying to spend more time on TikTok just because it's like the platform of the now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure that's why more people are just going there.
And I also find, even as a consumer of social media, I find TikTok aligns my algorithm way better than
100%.
Instagram.
They understand their algo. they get it really well.
Like if I'm thinking about some sort of recipe, like I'm gonna see it next time I scroll. If I'm thinking about a recipe, Instagram's gonna show me
Food.
Nothing. Like
Yeah.
something completely out of bounds.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like TikTok's predictive where Instagram's reactive. It's like
Yes.
you have to click or watch or share, and then the algo runs. Where Instagram or TikTok's more like predictively telling you what's.
Yep.
You know, so it's kind of crazy. Have you tried running paid traffic, or has it have been all organic that you've done?
I've done some ads on Instagram,
Nice.
like boosting reels and things like that, and I do find it helpful, especially if you get stuck in like a plateau. Like I've honestly been stuck in a little bit of a plateau with Instagram, but recently boosting reels to an ideal audience has helped find my ideal clients.
Yeah. That's interesting. No, that's cool. And a lot of people I've talked to people and they're like opposed to ads, and I'm like, it's not like you're committing a crime.
Yeah.
They're like, I would never. And I'm like, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it with Instagram. If you're doing it like the crazy DMs that you get, like that's just gonna kill
spam.
gonna kill your account. But if you're doing it with Instagram, like it's only gonna help you.
No, 100%. That's what I mean. It's like I think there's a lot of uneducation around paid traffic, and so like a lot of people like demonize it. Like, it's like Instagram wants you to do that. They want you to give them your money.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess like let's talk a little bit more about the journey that you've been on from like you started posting to like now where you're like pretty consistent with it. Like how has that trajectory gone, and have you gotten better and refined with your content? Have you ever thought about hiring someone? Like how does that as a creator work for you, you know?
When I first started posting content, it was trash. Like I look back or I get a memory in TikTok and I'm like, why did I post this?
You don't delete it, do you?
No, I don't, because you learn. Like you learn, and obviously, like I got followers at that time, so I was doing something right.
It worked.
But to me now, I'm like, God, why was I doing that?
Yeah.
It was a few years back when I started posting consistently, and I feel like I've gotten really good at it and quicker over time. But again, the algorithm's constantly changing. People are constantly changing. Social media is constantly changing. So you have to be able to adapt your basics to better form to what's trending currently.
Yeah. And like posting consistency, right? Like I suck at posting for myself. Like I just don't. And I always feel like I need an accountability coach. Do you have someone that like you're friends with that you guys say, we're going to post every day this week? Or like, or how do you go about that? Because it's like hard to commit to doing it.
It is hard to commit to doing it. I do have my business coach, but she's not like pounding me. But when I did start to post consistently, I was actually listening to a podcast by Rob Dial. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
No.
Okay, he has the Mentor Mindset, I believe, podcast. And he's like, if you want to do something with your life, do it every single day for 90 days. I was like, I want to be an online fitness coach. Like, I'm going to commit to posting every single day for the next 90 days. If nothing happens, I will quit.
Yeah.
And obviously stuff did happen. I got clients, like I grew a following. I was like, all right, it's working. So let's just keep doing it. So since then I was like, I just have to make it a priority every single day to do something. Like I've recently scaled back a little bit on Instagram. I don't post every single day in feed, but probably at least 5 days a week.
Yeah, it's still really impressive. Like fuck, it's a lot.
But again, like if I don't, then I'm not gonna make money. Like
yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's a beautiful part of it. Like, you know, like I've been in an interesting position because I've like run an agency and then now I do a creator platform. So like I make money outside of creating content, and I'm like, oh, I want to just be a creator, but it's like I don't have that commitment ability to just be a creator, but I want to. Like I feel like content creation, that's why we're doing this, right? It's like it's awesome, and it's like a good way. I've been doing it for clients for years, almost 10 years, and it's like why haven't I been doing it for 10 years? So it's interesting, but cool. So like what's the next 5 years look like for you? Is it like make more content? Like I guess to share more of who you are, like, right? Dog mom, cat mom, competitor,
bodybuilder. Yeah. The next 5 years, I'm definitely going to dive deeper into bodybuilding. Up until now, I've only been taking lifestyle clients, like weight loss, fat loss, muscle building. But after this year, I plan on competing again. So I'm going to start taking competition clients. So want to grow more in that sense, and obviously continue to grow on Instagram, TikTok. I recently started a YouTube.
Nice.
So if you guys want to follow me on YouTube?
I'll follow you. Yeah, that's awesome.
I only have like 11 subscribers, but I've been posting my like exercise tutorials there.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other beast. So I have to learn YouTube.
YouTube is like, I think, the one you want to conquer first, but like it's definitely one that it's good to be on. Like I've always been like, I should have been a vlogger. I should have been a YouTuber.
But it's so much different than what I'm used to. Sorry, I was on my way.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm not a vlogger. So it's weird. So I've been doing the YouTube shorts of like my content that I've been putting on TikTok and Instagram and transferring.
What is a vlogger, right? Because to some degree we post, we share our stories. I'll make sure the lights go back on. Sensors. You're kind of like to some degree a vlogger because you story post.
Yeah.
You know, you do the daily content on your Instagram, but like, what's the difference of that and this, I guess?
I still get embarrassed.
Really? And you've been doing it for how many years now?
3, 4.
I
still get embarrassed. Like, I can't even talk on camera if my husband's in the house.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, he has to be gone for me to talk on the camera. Like, I can't talk on the camera in public. I still find it a little bit embarrassing. But filming what I'm exercising, easy.
Yeah, no, I think we've all kind of had that, like, that kind of social anxiety of like, people are gonna be like looking at me film myself. I will say there's this one girl in our gym, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. She's so good about pulling that tripod out and like straight vlogging herself.
I don't think I've noticed.
Her name's Fit Foodie, something like that.
Oh.
She's like the pink outfits usually.
Yeah. She posts all the recipes.
Yeah, she does a really good job about like, I don't know if recently I have advice to go work out in the middle of the day a little bit more. I used to see her more often.
Okay.
But I like always like applaud her because she like pulls out the vlog camera and just like starts doing content. I'm like, that is awesome.
I get scared in our gym because I fear that they may have kicked people out for tripods.
I think so. I could see that. Our gym's very weird about that. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely the social anxiety of like, you know, but it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, like I think we put ourselves out there enough that we don't care enough.
Yeah.
But, like we still kind of get in our own heads. Like for sure, I'm like I could totally be vlogging right now, parties, gym, wherever, and I'm like, I don't want to make people feel awkward.
Yeah.
Because there is a social dynamic where now you're recording everything. So.
And like also sometimes I want to be present. And I don't want to be videoing my entire life. Yeah. So it's definitely learning the balance of like, hey, let's video, or hey, like, let's just be a normal human being for a sec.
So I've had a conversation with a couple friends here in Miami, and you know, like the vlog squads of LA, how there was like the Hype House. I don't know if you remember seeing that. So there was basically homes where they would create like creator houses, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we're like, how do we create that culture here? We're like, hey Peyton, hey so-and-so, hey so-and-so, let's all hang out and create content together, right? That's not really like here, is it, in Miami? It's like, it does happen, but like you're talking about the most elite level ones, like the Nelk Boys or like the big timers. Yeah,
the only instances I've heard of this are like the OF girls.
Yeah.
And they'll like rent a house and do their stuff. But I haven't really heard of lifestyle or even fitness, anything like that.
And it's kind of interesting because like I want to create that culture here of like, it's like content's cool, like vlogging's cool, it's normal, right?
Yeah.
And I think I have enough friends that we do cool things, right? We'll go fishing, we'll go pool parties, we'll do like cool things that we should be vlogging.
Yeah.
But I think we are living so in the moment that we're like, oh fuck, that's so much work.
Yeah.
So if you were to be in that ecosystem of other creators, call it YouTubers,
yeah,
do you feel you'd be more inclined to create content?
Probably.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I think just being out in public, people aren't inclined to accept videoing and like being on your camera and talking to the camera. But if I'm around a bunch of people that are doing it already, like.
Yeah. Do you know who Buff Bunny are, just Chris McGuzman, Max Chewing? Do you see how their little friend circle are so like into vlogging and they do, it's like, I'm always like, I've been following Max for forever. Christian since I was in college, like almost 12 years ago or whatever it was. And so it's like, it's so cool to see like now they're doing the private jets to Aspen and like they're hanging out. It's like, yo, you guys made it from like creators just in the gym to like now multi-million-dollar companies and just still doing the same vlog.
Yeah.
And so that really inspires me. I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool. We're still young, right? Like we still have friends and stuff that could create content like that.
I've had like a few girlfriends, like even going up to the TLF gym, like one of the trainers in Lifetime, she also wears TLF. We've been up there with one of her friends, like creating content, and like that's fun because like you all get it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, they're on the same wavelength. Yeah. So that's interesting. No, I always wonder about that because, you know, there's like that missing piece of like the union of creators here in Miami. I feel like everyone's a creator, but they all do their own thing. It's all like very like independent. Besides the OnlyFans girls, they seem to kind of come together. Maybe they have to, I don't know. But no, yeah, that's interesting. So I guess like speak a little bit more on like how does it feel like going back to Indiana and saying, you know, I'm a creator, and then people maybe like siblings or family members that are like, they ask you, how do I be like you? And you're like, this stigmatized career choice. So like, yeah, speak on that a little.
So I actually haven't been back to Indiana in a long time. I probably should. But I was with my brother and his wife recently in Colorado, snowboarding, skiing. And it was right when I took the leap of doing my business full time. And my sister-in-law was like, fuck yeah, like that's what you should do. And I was like, that's why I like you. So like my brother and my sister-in-law, they're very supportive. When I told my parents, they were kind of like, okay, like what, sure. But then they're supportive too. My husband's probably the most supportive. Like he was like, yeah, do it. Like you need to do it. This is what you love to do. You're happy. Like he saw me unhappy in a job that, it paid the bills, but I was unhappy. And he's like, I just want you happy. So he's super supportive. But going back to Indiana people, honestly, if I went back and I told my grandma, she'd probably be like, I don't understand.
They don't usually,
but it's fine.
Yeah, no, I always wonder that because I have family members and like a lot of people that you connect with that have no understanding of this world, like content, like social media, like they're just like, what? Like you can make a business out of that world, and so like there's a whole deep dive into the world of social, and so I'm always curious how you respond to those people. Like, hey, like do it. I'm always proactively like become a creator, get into social, right? Like everybody, because I'm like, it's way more fun and it has a lot more freedom to it, and I think yes, we need people to work normal jobs and whatnot, but I think at the same time, AI will eventually take over all of it anyway.
I mean, when people are kind of apprehensive to me, I'm like, I have a client in Rome right now. Like I have a client in Sweden right now.
So
like
cool.
That would not have happened if social media didn't exist. And they're like, oh, wow. Like
that's, they're
it
impressed.
Can happen. And it's like every single person has a cell phone in their hands. Like, what are they doing? They're on social media. What are they looking at on social media? Like brands, content, you name it, restaurants, reviews, travel, like literally everything. So why not?
Why not be in front of that?
Right.
Interesting. No, it's cool you mentioned about the global clientele, because like for an independent business or a startup business to like say, I have clients globally would have been like a trophy back in the day. That I'm like, you have clients globally, you must be so big and cool, right? But now it's like normal. It could happen like this, right?
Exactly.
And I think the scalability of digital and social is like such an awesome opportunity that like I have to constantly remind myself we're so early. Like we're so early, even though I look back at 14, 15, those years, and I'm like, it's all so busy already. But it's like, even now it seems like it's still early. And coming into the creator economy space, right? I'm like, wow, like the creator economy itself is still young. It's like not even like.
It's reassuring you say that.
No, it's crazy. It's like, because I'm looking at it from a very statistical perspective, and now that I have a company in the creator space, I'm like, how do we build up equity in the company value and creators? And I'm like, oh, like no one's really doing it at a global scale. Most people are just doing it geographically or US or their own markets. And so like just knowing that you can like scale a company, a tech company globally, and say, hey, there's creators all over the world and no one's brought them into one place. And it's like kind of insane. It's like, so we're super early, and it's like insane because like
but it also allows you to grow a business that you may have thought 10 years ago couldn't reach that many people. And now it's like, no, you can reach every corner of the earth if you want.
Literally, because now even the corners of the earth have satellites and Starlink and all that. So it's like they have internet. Anything you want to talk about, share.
Oh gosh.
I think it's been a cool dialogue so far. I want to open it up to you.
I want to hear more of the statistics around you thinking content and creation is young, because I hear the opposite.
Really?
Well, just because of, like we were talking about earlier and how competitive it is for online coaches, it makes me wonder, like, how do I say this? Like, is it so competitive, or are we still
early? Okay, so from like the numbers in revenue from the creator economy in the billions, right? I know that we're like, from here till 2027, we're gonna double.
And what do you mean by creator economy?
So,
do you just mean people creating content?
Yeah, so money being made from content creation, digital products, anything that involves social media as a sales channel.
So like, are you talking about creator funds?
So any way a creator can make money.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay.
So it's like I think it's like $350 billion right now. But
Okay.
it's supposed to go to like 600 or 700 billion in like 3 or 4 years, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I mean, that's doubling.
It's like, and it's huge already, right?
Yeah.
Like we think about how many people make a ton of money online.
Yeah.
And so if it's gonna double, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I'm sure, Miami has probably the most digital entrepreneurs, I think, in America.
Yeah.
And I have friends that do $500,000, $1 million a month in revenue.
Okay.
And it's just like, to me, I'm like, that's normal in this world of digital entrepreneurs. And I'm like, and we're early because there's only like 100 of us or 200 people making that kind of money. So it's like, and to know that it's only gonna get twice as much.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. So that's
Okay.
why I'm like, we're early. Although like, it seems kind of like, oh, saturated markets, oh, everyone's doing it. But it's like, you might have, call it 100 customers now. What does it look like to have 1,000 customers? Like,
Right.
So I think it's like, just from perhaps doing it more and more. And
Yeah.
I actually challenge you to run some paid traffic with some offers on the back end. The boost posts, I always recommend people don't do that. So
What do you mean?
So boost posts is like, the targeting is not as good.
Okay.
So there's like the front end of Instagram, which is like you could boost posts, and even on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the Facebook Ads Manager, you could just manipulate the campaign so much better.
Oh.
Have you been back there?
No.
Go to Facebook Ads Manager and explore it.
I should probably do that.
Explore it because there's so much more in regards to objectives. Like, so if you have an objective of like profile visits, messages, or I forget the other one that boost post gives you.
Profile visits, messages, or your website.
Yeah, website traffic. So the other side has like 12.
Oh, wow.
You could do like purchases.
Oh, okay.
You could do like lead forms. You could do like way more. Yeah.
Huh.
And so see, even you not knowing that tells me it's so early. Because like you're inexperienced and you're doing well as a trainer. But like
there's like, I do realize like there's so much more that I don't know too. Like the more I even dive deep into content, it's like, wow, I still have so much more to learn.
Yeah, no, and it's fascinating because you don't know what you don't know, and then you don't know who to trust to learn it from, right? There's so many online gurus, and I've gone through my fair share of like scam gurus where I pay them and I'm like, damn it, they didn't do shit for me.
Yeah.
And then I've also been blessed with a lot of guys that teach me so much, and I'm like, you're a genius.
Yeah.
I should have paid you twice as much, but it's okay. Yeah, no, so it's definitely like sorting through that and understanding who knows what they're doing and who doesn't is really a hard skill set to understand. And so there is no platform you can go to and they're all perfect. So it's really just test and trial or like reviews and whatnot. But I'm actually, the whole digital product space, like I've done really well for my clients where they sell like a free book or they'll do a course. And I'm like, wow, like what am I doing a service-based agency? But it's also like, what are you passionate about, right? What do you like? And I've been blessed to meet some great clients, some great people, partners because of my agency. So I keep doing it. It's a great lifestyle business. But yeah, there's the digital, we're in a great place. The digital products, online coaching space, I'm like, it's beautiful. Yeah. You can scale so much.
You can. Like, I would never, a few years ago when I started, I would have never thought I had clients in Europe, and now I do. And now I've had clients in several countries around the world, and it's like, teenage Peyton would not believe this right now. So it's like, it's really cool.
So it's inspiring for like the audience to know, like, try it, do it, and then see what happens. Because you never know. Like you said, like I have a friend I was just on the phone with him in Denmark, young guy, under 18. It's almost like he's just a friend, and he's like a genius marketing kid. Okay. The growth hacker, like he's sitting in Denmark and just like became good friends, and I respect him for his knowledge. This kid is so smart, and like he knows stuff that I know. I'm like, it took me 10 years to learn this. How do you know this already? And so, that I say this because even with age, right? Like you have some of the young cats or some of the younger individuals that like understand TikTok and growth hacks on TikTok at a whole higher level that I understand, right? And so just making sure like, you know, and he's actually introduced me to a Danish investor, which is like crazy. I would have never thought, oh, my company might have a Danish investor, super successful guy in Denmark. And I'm like, but it's just the power of the internet. You know, you can make these relationships, you can have friends, and they can refer people, and it's like, it's pretty nuts. And so it's really inspiring for the world to hear that like you have clients in Europe and everywhere else. It's like epic. It's like so like real, because it's like you do, and it's like that's. So anything else you want to finish off with? Any questions you might have on the, besides the creator call, any question you just had?
I mean, now I need to research the back end of Facebook.
Yeah, no, like I'm happy to walk you through that. It's definitely a hack.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's social. I'll explain it. It's like organic world.
Yep.
And then paid world.
Yeah.
The paid world is you pay to play, so you give these platforms. But even within the paid world, you have pillars, right? You have like chat automation, and I have a good friend, Natasha. Shout out Natasha Willis. She's up in Boca, but she's like a chatbot expert. Like ManyChat, the platform that does this, brings her on stage to coach and teach, right?
I do work with ManyChat.
Cool.
So I know that, but like I don't know the other.
How do you apply ManyChat and ads in the same way that now they're like exponentially, and you can actually make sales within ManyChat's DMs conversations? Like maybe you're exploring it, but like I learned this like 5 or 6 years ago, and Natasha taught me, and I'm like, I have gotten such great results in some of my campaigns by implementing DM automation. Yeah. Where it's like, I don't know how much you've engineered those chats.
Not super detailed, like basic, just
DM me the word.
Yes, right. And then like ask a question when they do, and like that gets me into pitching coaching. Yeah. But I'm very hands-on with people. It's like I want to have the conversations, because fitness is much more detailed.
Intimate,
and like personalized, because it is one-on-one coaching. So I'm very honed in on that one person, focused on what their needs are. So I like get the conversation started with that, but then I'm the one
doing it. So think of it this way, right? Like let's just say you were to launch a Peyton's top 10 things to eat when you're super hungry that are like great for you, right? And then you were to run an ad that basically gave them that as a gift. Or you charge them $1, let's just call it, right? So then people all over the internet, you run some ads, right? You get 100 people a day that message you and ask you for that thing. Yeah. Okay, you can send it automatically, and then you're gonna hold that dialogue with each of those after. No, what you would wanna do is create sequences. You send them that, and then you start to qualify them through ManyChat, and then maybe they buy through that conversation.
I'm about to go home and do all this.
No, it's really awesome. Like, I'll send some references to look at, but yeah, it's like now, like I've had a client where we're spending, I think it was like $60,000 a month in ads, and so like it's a lot of money, right? But we were doing like 2,000 DMs a day, like wow. So like no one can actually sit there and respond
like
to
that's impossible.
But like with ManyChat, you can.
Yeah.
And you could like just see the DMs. You could look at your website. How many purchases have you gotten? Just like, you know, then take that data and then run an email campaign after that retargets them and sends them another offer. It's like, it's super.
I'm gonna have to
scalable.
Do more with ManyChat.
But like, it's interesting because a lot of, you know, you do well. You're like, there's no really need to do it right now.
Right.
Like,
but it's obviously only gonna help.
Yeah, well, you can only grow it bigger, right? So like, this is where I'm like, you know, right now you have a percentage of the market share, right? Who's a big influencer in the fitness industry that does online coaching that's really big? There's so many, right? Name one. Name one.
I can't even think of a name. Jesus.
Buff Bunny, isn't she an online coach? No.
Is she?
She used to be.
She used to be.
I doubt she is anymore.
Practically all of Gymshark's athletes.
Yeah, so Gymshark's biggest athletes are all online coaches, right? They have still a very small percentage of the market share. How do they get them? One could argue probably organically, but it's like, how do you compete against that? Right. You're in traffic, right? If you're profitable month one, what do? Reinvest and double it up. Yeah. So you'll learn a word called ROAS. Do you know what that means?
ROAS.
ROAS, ROAS, return on ad spend.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the whole goal of ROAS is how do you put $100 and make $200? How do you put 1,000 and make 2,000? And to be honest, in the marketing world, the standard is if you do a 2x, it's bad. which is crazy because it's like
Yeah.
doubling your money, right?
Yeah.
And so like when a lot of my friends are like 7x, 9x, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah. No,
If you
it
look at
is.
it from like a normal business perspective.
So when they do the automations with mini chat, are they doing it from posts and you're running the post ad?
Story, post, drop a comment on the post.
Comments, stories,
Story replies.
all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Or it could just be DM us from a story. It could be like a creative and this says DM us the word and then that activates. There's a couple activations you could do on any chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah.
know.
I know, like,
It's cool you explored them.
I'm a little
How did
baby
you-
to mini
how
chat,
did
but I
you-
like it so far.
How did you get introduced to ManyChat?
Business coach.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she introduced it to me. So I haven't been using it very long.
Yeah.
But it has sparked a lot of conversations and like leads, and it's been great with lead generation.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This is not sponsored by ManyChat, but if you guys
But
want.
you should sponsor.
But if you guys want, that's
like
super cool.
free.
Yeah. No, it's a cool tool, and it's like people don't even understand they're talking to a chat automation just because it's in DMs, right? It's
Yeah.
like our open rates were like 80 or 90%, and I went to a board and they were like, okay, if we spend this much, what are the open rates? And I said, low end 80, high end 90, and they go, okay, you're funny.
That's
What's
insane.
the real?
Yeah, no, because
they're-
what's email open rates? Like
7 or
10%.
10%. Yeah. And they were like, there's no way that's possible. And then I had their tech guy follow me over, launch the campaign, and he comes back, he's like, he wasn't lying. I was like, what do you think, I'm just making up numbers? The data is, and so, yeah, some generations won't even understand these numbers because it's like,
No.
we open our DMs, right, for the most part.
Well, even like people that aren't in social media, they don't understand it either.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because then you try to explain to them and they're just like, phew.
Yeah, they're like, what?
You're like,
You
oh
can do that?"
man, you don't understand. But then that comes to finding your customer, right? In the agency space, like, I've had a lot of opportunities with a lot of clients, but I'm like, you're trying to haggle me on this price, but they don't understand the value. So it's like, if you have other clients or tech clients, they're like, oh, you're gonna get me how many users for how much? Yeah, let's do it. And it's like, they understand the value and social and conversion. So, no, that's interesting. But yeah, creator life, love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peyton, for coming on. By the way, you should join Ukreate. So what it is, do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's
so
your social media platform.
It's a marketplace.
Yeah.
So when brands that are watching, they want to hire Peyton, you can come on to Ukreate and just find her, talk to her, and send her some product or send her some money. And that's it. So appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And
Thank
we'll see
you for
at the
having
gym.
me.